Okay, I actually did. This is the 11.4, okay, day 1. I actually did all of it and not record. I did almost every single problem of your homework and reflected and everything and forgot to record. So I'm going to do this as fast as I can. Once your denominator is same, it's like any fraction, 1/2 plus 1/2, you get 2 over 2. And then you always reduce after, not before, okay? You get 1. Well, you can reduce before, but not for this homework assignment. So the denominator stays the same, right? So basically, if it's an add, you just extend it. So that's 7 over 6t minus 1. Okay, so same thing here. You just extend this and get 14 over c minus 5. Okay, and then just like right here, extend, combine the like terms there, and get that 6 and then minus 28, and see if it factors out. Does it really matter? You can factor out a 2 if you want to, so it's 3. So you get 2 parentheses 3c minus 16. No, not 16, but 14. And it doesn't cancel, so there's nothing you can do, okay? Still stays. So very important here, if you have a minus here, that makes it plus. That's a -6, okay? So that's why we got net. And this you can't factor, can't reduce any further. That's your answer. Okay, so when you have this here, know that the numerator is like in parentheses. Okay, plus a negative, and you're distributing to it all. That's how I got that answer here. And then you combine like terms to get that answer, and know that if it's the same, it still equals to 1. Okay, so same thing here, that is a negative b, so that's why we got that. Write it in standard form. The reason why we do this to see if we can factor out. That factors out, and your answer is -1. Yeah. Okay. Hope you guys see that. All right. And then common denominator. This is the common denominator here is 36, not 54. 54 it could be, but it's not the lowest. The lowest here, you take the number first and take the highest exponent. Here is 3, and then there's a c, so that's your common denominator right here. That's important. Now for this lesson, let me redo this to explain this to you. The best way to see it really well is to write it vertically, minus 2 over 3. Once you understand it well, you can write it horizontally, right? Horizontally is how everyone does it. So the common denominator is just like when you have 1 over 4 times 1 over, add 1 over 3, you multiply these two together. You would multiply x and 3 together to get 3x. Okay. So what you need to do is x times what makes 3? X times 3 to get the same thing. So you times 3 here. You times 3 here to get 12. Okay. 3 times what to get the 3x times x here. You get 2x. Now you add them together. Your denominator stays the 3x, and you just add, this is a -2. You put the leading coefficient first, or you want to do that, that's fine too. So same thing here. Your common denominator, so what I did was I wrote it, if you're confused by all this, okay. Common denominator, you take the numbers first, 8 and 12, your common denominator is 24. And then you, because there's 2 variable here, you pick us the highest of the 2. Okay, you pick the m to the 3rd power. Well, what does Okay, what do we need to do here to make this number equal to that number? You need to multiply it by 2 and times it by an m, right? It's missing 2 and an m to get that number to equal to that. So multiply it by 2m, you'll get that answer. So you get 2m on top here, okay? Now to get 28 to make it equal 8 to make it 24, you times it by 3. No need for an m, m is equivalent to third power. So times this by 3 also, you get a 9. So this is a plus problem. That's how we got the positive 2m plus 9 all over this here. Same thing here. Okay. Common denominator, take the numbers first. Oops. Which is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. The only common denominator is 20. And then your highest x is x squared. Okay. In order to get from 5 to 20, you have to times it by 4 x squared. So you need to times the top by 4x squared. You get 36x squared. Now to get this to equal to 20, you need to times it by 5 only to get x squared. So times the top by 5, you get 45. Okay, and then you add them together. They're not alike, so we need to put that, you get this here, and then you factor out, right, by a 9, and you get that answer. Okay, and you don't have to, well, it doesn't factor, so, but get used to simplifying like that. It's good for you. Okay, same thing. Okay, this one here, the best way to do this is, all right, let me explain this. Right, the common denominator is both of these, both of them, this denominator and that denominator. That's why I wrote it twice there. Okay, so let's do the first one term. This term has, notice it has this one, but it doesn't have this one right here. Doesn't have this one. So the a plus 5 goes to this one. Okay, because it's missing that one. So you multiply that. A times a is a squared, and a times 5 is plus 5a. This one here, notice it has this one, but it's missing this one. So it's missing a plus 3. So that's what you multiply that with. So times that for a plus 12. And then you would combine the like terms here. You got a to the second power, nothing to combine with. But these two are alike to get that 9a, and this doesn't have anything. And then you do check and see if you can factor and reduce. You cannot, that's your answer. So same thing goes here. Notice that both of them are my denominator. Okay. And then for the numerator, this one's there, so I need to multiply the top one by that one. Okay, and then distribute, get that answer. The denominator, same thing. I have that one and don't have that one, so I put it up here, multiply them, get my answer, and then add the like terms. C squared, there's nothing. C, that's 7c, and that's 20. That's my answer. So I was going to leave this for you guys to do, but okay, so you got your denominator. You can do it sideways. Most people do it sideways and not vertically like I do. So you can do 2a plus 1. The common denominator is 2a plus 1. And I won't do shortcuts yet. No shortcuts yet. I will do it vertical. 2a plus 1. And then add that to 6 over 2a minus 1. So your common denominator is both of them, right? Common denominator is both of them. You get 2a plus 1 and 2a minus 1. 2a plus 1, 2a minus 1. And then you have this one, so you need to write this one up here, 2a plus 1, because that's what it's missing. Okay, so you get 12a plus 6. Now for this one up on the first term here, you got this one. Oh, we'll check it off. And need this one, 2a minus 1. You get 6a minus 3. Distribute that. Okay? And then now you need to look at the numerator now, these two things. Now your answer is going to have your denominator, which is 2a plus 1 and 2a minus 1. So for the numerator, these two are alike right there. You get 18a minus 3, because these two right here. Okay, you can factor out a 3, right? You get 6a minus 1, 6a, not 9a, over that answer right there, 2a plus 1 and 2a minus 1. Okay, and you do that for all of these. Now what you need to remember though for number 30 is this is in parentheses, and you're just plus a negative here and distribute the negative to all of them in there. Okay, so combine the like terms, you get that and that, you get this answer. And then this 2y doesn't have anything, and then you combine these two together, get a, so that's a positive now, can distribute that to make that a plus, so you got a positive 2. And the fraction on the bottom is the same. We factor out a -1 and then check to see if you can do -2 and a -2 like that. Nope, you cannot. Okay, so yeah, you do that. That's an easy one, right? So for this one here, you need to common denominator, right? I wrote it vertically here. Notice the first term, the denominator is the same, so we kept it the same, kept everything the same. The second term, to make this, you need to multiply by m, so you need to multiply that by m to get that. And you add them together, and that's your answer. Okay? So, number 36, it has a denominator a, b, and c. So your common denominator is both a, b, and c. So this has b and c. Notice it's lacking a. That's why we times it by a to get a cubed. This here has a and b. It's lacking c, so we times c to get c cubed. Cannot. So you get c cubed minus a squared all over a, b, and c. Okay, well, this is pretty much the same thing, okay. All right. I guess the magical act didn't work. Did it? Yes. We factor out this one here to get this answer right there. Okay. You factor that out. Okay, let me erase all this so you can see what I'm doing. Find a common denominator. So the common denominator, your denominator's this, and you have up here's this and that, right? Factored this out to get that right there. So because this has 2, this only have 1, your common denominator is all 3 things. Notice that. Okay. And this. So with this one, I'm going to cross this out. Okay. With this one, eventually people are going to do it horizontally. I've been doing it vertically, but eventually they'll do it horizontally like this. So this set, notice I have this and that. So it's missing this one. So x plus 3 goes here. That one it's missing. Okay. And then the second one, the second term, it has 2 of these, so it has this and this. No, sorry, this. And it's missing this one. So that's x minus 3. Okay? This is a plus sign in the middle. Distribute. That's how I get x squared plus 3x. Distribute, I get negative x squared plus 3x. Okay, combine like terms. These two are zeros. That's why we only have left 6 with the denominator. Denominator, we put this as x squared like that. Okay. All right, and then the other one, here's the answer. There's the answer. The only way to divide this, I tried dividing, putting on bottom, it doesn't work. The only way to do this is to do long division. Okay, make sure you put the 0 in the middle, otherwise you can get in trouble. Several of you did that on your test. Okay, and then factor it out, make 0 there. Square root is a plus or minus. Okay, factor. Okay, and this is automatically no solution because it's negative. Okay, and that's how you do those. Hopefully that